Every morning you wake up with a limited amount of one thing, and that's willpower. Think of it like the battery on your phone, right? You start that day at 100%. You just recharge everything, you recharge overnight, and you're ready to go. But then life begins. You use 5% to get out of bed instead of hitting that snooze button. Another 10% dealing with the chaos of getting the kids ready for school, getting their lunches ready, all that good stuff. By the time you actually get to work, you've already burned through a quarter of your battery just getting the day started. Then the real drain begins. That client who moves up a deadline when you don't really need it to be, the project that catches fire and you have to put it out, the back-to-back meetings that leave you mentally exhausted. You're making decisions, solving problems, staying patient, and it's draining and draining and draining that battery. By the time you walk in the door at 6 p.m. going back home, your battery's flashing red, right? You're at 15%. And what is the fitness industry's advice to you? Just try harder, push through, no pain, no gain, be more disciplined. They expect you to use that last 15% of your battery to force yourself to eat a bland salad instead of comfort food you crave, to drag your exhausted body to the gym and to say no to beer that's calling your name. So what happens? By 8 p.m., the battery's dead. You give in, you eat the pizza, you skip the workout, you have the not just one beer, but 5 beers. And then you're flooded with guilt, promising yourself you'll be better by tomorrow. This is the willpower battle. It's draining, it's exhausting, and a demoralizing fight that you're set up to lose every single time. And I'm here to tell you the truth. The problem isn't your strength. The problem is you're fighting the wrong war. Now, what if I told you that the men who get and stay in the best shape of their lives don't have more willpower than you? In fact, most of them probably have less. They aren't winning because they're fighting the daily battle. They're winning because they built a system that makes the battle completely unnecessary. They've made their progress automatic. This is the entire concept behind what we call the fat loss flywheel. I want you to picture a massive 10-ton steel flywheel. If you try to move that wheel from a dead stop with one heroic all-out push, you might budge it an inch, right? You'll exhaust yourself and then have nothing left. That's what you're doing every time you start again on Monday. It's all effort, no momentum. But what if instead you gave it one small, easy, consistent push, then another and another? Slowly that massive wheel starts to turn, and once it's spinning, it develops a powerful force all on its own, and it becomes harder to stop than it is actually to keep going. That's momentum, and it's infinitely more powerful than willpower. My clients win because they stop trying to be heroes and instead focus on becoming strategic. They build systems. And today, I'm going to give you 3 core principles of that system. These are the principles that you can use to stop draining your willpower and start building your own unstoppable flywheel. So the first principle is to front load your wins. Your willpower and focus are at their absolute peak in the morning. We need to use that fresh battery to create a domino effect that carries you through the rest of the day. So instead of worrying about your entire day of eating and exercise, your only mission is to absolutely win that first hour. For my clients, this starts with 2 incredibly simple actions. Drink a full liter of water and eat breakfast with at least 30 grams of protein. That's it. Now, why is this so powerful? Let's talk about the science simply. When you start your day with the typical breakfast, a bagel, a bowl of cereal, a muffin, you're starting a blood sugar roller coaster. You get a quick spike of energy, followed by a hard crash an hour or 2 later. That crash sends a panic signal to your brain that says, I need more quick energy and I need it right now. That's where the cravings for the office donuts or the mid-morning sugary coffee come from. You're fighting an uphill biological battle all day. But on the opposite side of that, when you start with a high protein breakfast, you stabilize that blood sugar. You create steady, sustained energy. The cravings disappear. You're not fighting your own biology anymore. I had a client, he was a 45-year-old attorney who for the first 2 weeks did nothing else but this. He nailed his water and protein every morning. By day 5, he told me that the brain fog he felt every day right around 10:30 just gone. He felt in control. He wasn't thinking about his next meal. That one automatic win gave him the confidence and the energy to make the next right choice and the one right after that. That's the first most important push on this flywheel. Second, we have to design for real life. The all or nothing mindset is the single biggest killer of long-term progress. It's a trap we set for ourselves, believing that if we can't do things absolutely perfectly, they aren't worth doing at all. So the moment we have one slice of pizza, our brain declares, well, the day's ruined, right? Might as well eat the whole pizza. Might as well order some wings and some fries with it too, and I'll just start over again on Monday. This is the catastrophic drain on your willpower. You need a system that expects, hell, it even plans for real life. This is where we use the 80-20 principle, right? The 80-20 rule. I'm sure you've heard this term before. It's nothing new. 80% of the time, we're on point. We're eating protein-forward meals, we're hitting our workouts, but 20% of the time, you need the freedom to be a normal human being, right? A birthday party will happen, you'll go on vacation, there'll be a pizza night with your kids, whatever it is, these things happen. This is real world stuff. But here's the critical reframe. That 20%, it's not a cheat and it's not a failure. It's a planned part of the system. That pizza night with your family is a strategic tool that allows this to be sustainable for the rest of your life. When you remove the guilt, you remove the self-sabotage, you have the pizza, you enjoy it, and you get right back on track with your next meal because it was never a failure in the first place. The man who loses 30 pounds in 12 weeks with extreme restriction, he only gains back another 40. He's the one who failed, right? The man who loses 25 pounds in 16 weeks while never missing a date night with his wife is the one who won. Progress becomes automatic when your system flexes instead of shatters. Now, finally, the third and final principle is to automate your environment. The most effective way to win the willpower battle is to never have to fight it. Willpower is for making decisions. If you remove those decisions, you preserve the willpower for where it truly matters. You need to become the architect of your environment, designing it so the right choices are the easiest choices. We do this with both defense and offense. Defense is about removing friction and temptation. If you have a box of cookies in the pantry, you have to make 20 small, draining decisions a day to not eat all of them, right? But if you make one good decision when you're at the grocery store, the decision to not buy them in the first place, you don't need that willpower anymore, right? The battle is already won. That's the defensive side. The offense is about setting up your environment so your path of least resistance is a good choice. You want to create a situation where both option A and option B are wins. This means having pre-cooked chicken and steak in the fridge. When you're hungry, the choice isn't between junk food that's already ready and cooking a healthy meal from scratch. The choice is between two good options that are ready to go right in the fridge already. This applies to your fitness too, right? If you have to find your gym clothes, if you have to pack a bag, drive 15 minutes to the gym, you're facing multiple decision points where you can fail along the way. But if you have your workout clothes laid out the night before in the bag ready to go for a 30-minute workout, you could do at home if you want, or you could go to the gym. The decision's already made for you. You just have to go and you have to execute. This isn't about being weak. It's about being a strategist, right? You're designing an environment where you are destined to win. So let's bring this all together now, right? We front load your wins, we design a path for your life, and we automate your environment. Now, do you see the difference from what everything I've laid out? The man who fails is the one who wakes up every day hoping to feel motivated, hoping to go out there and make the right decisions. He's consistently fighting a defensive battle against his own biology and his own environment. The man who wins is the one who built a system yesterday that'll carry him through today, regardless of how he feels. You have the principles now, right, to understand what we need to do and why we need to do it. You can take these ideas and start applying them yourself, and you'll see a change. But if you're tired of trying to figure it out all on your own, if you want a complete, done-for-you system where all of this is engineered specifically for your life, your schedule, and your goals, that is what we do. That's the work that we do here. We build a flywheel for you and with you, so all you have to do is give it that first easy push. So if you're done with the willpower battle and you're ready for a system that actually works, I invite you to take that next step. Send me a message with the word action and we will get things rolling. We'll have a conversation, see if we can make things work for you. Let's make your progress automatic. I'll see you in the next one.